Well, were you one of the thousands of drivers who got stuck in this mess trying to get to work? We were live all morning long when the James River Bridge got stuck after a lift.
And the tender told us this came from the cold. You may remember the story we did yesterday when VDOT told us they didn't expect any weather issues at any of the bridges or tunnels. So what happened this morning? That's the question for 10 on Your Side's Brandi Cummings, who spent the day getting to the root of the problem, live on the Newport News side of the JRB.
And Brandi, at 4, you showed us a successful lift. We were all watching that, hoping it would happen. But with more of this cold weather coming, everyone wants to know, what is VDOT doing to make sure that doesn't happen again tomorrow?
Well, we can tell you, Nicole, Tom, this information just coming in, new here for Wavy News 10 at 5, VDOT telling us that they are going to have extra crews on standby for tomorrow, especially with that possibility of freezing rain in the forecast. They're going to have extra crews at the bridges, the tunnels, and also have salt trucks on standby. Now, as of this morning, though, we can tell you this bridge lift, it was supposed to go off at 6:45. Now, let's go back just a little bit. Let's tell you about this bridge lift that you saw at in our 4 o'clock newscast, rather. It did, as you mentioned, go off as planned. It did get stuck because VDOT telling us again late this afternoon they had bridge lift experts on site making sure things were to go smoothly. Now, as for what happened this morning, VDOT says it was a mechanical failure that sometimes happens in extreme weather conditions. They explain that the grates have to seat properly into the grooves. This morning, though, they stopped inches away from where they were supposed to be. Again, the bridge lift planned for 6:45 a.m. It took 1 hour and 15 minutes to get traffic moving again. Hundreds of people sat there with nowhere to go.
I was a little annoyed at first, but I also realized that, we have to do the bridge lifts in order to move the commerce and the goods up and down the river, so it's sort of a necessary evil.
Well, I thought it was a little headache, especially being the weather was cold today and you couldn't roll down the window to get fresh air.
But I really think they need to put some money into and somehow test the bridge during these cold snaps like this, and to ensure that maybe we can find this problem and fix it so that it doesn't keep happening.
Now, Lori Simmons with VDOT says they greased the guide shoe. Now, that's the locking mechanism to make sure that the bridge deck is even with the roadway. They weekly grease these portions of the bridges, trying to prevent these kinds of things from happening.
People need to get where they want to go. VDOT, that's our mission, to keep Virginia moving. And we can understand why people were a little upset this morning. But we are doing everything we can within federal law, within federal regulations. And there's just sometimes these are unforeseen circumstances with mechanical failures. It's not something that we could have anticipated happening.
All right, so a lot of viewers asking us here at Wavy News, why do they do the bridge lifts during rush hour? We have that answer. We did ask that of VDOT. We'll have that coming up tonight at 6 o'clock. For now, live in Newport News, Brandi Cummings, 10 on Your Side.